What is your school doing to protect students from exposure to harmful air pollution? From the Valley Air District, this is your Healthy Air Living Report. The Healthy Air Living Schools program provides participating schools with signs for their parking lots in both English and Spanish, reminding parents not to idle their vehicles when waiting to pick up their children. It also provides schools with the tools needed to receive current air quality information and guidelines for the duration of student outdoor activities based on air pollution levels. Schools can also post current localized air quality information on their own website, further helping protect public health and educating parents about air quality. For more information on how to become a Healthy Air Living school, visit healthyairliving.com and click on Schools. That's healthyairliving.com, Schools. From the San Joaquin Valley Air District, this has been your Healthy Air Living Report.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
My name is Miriam, and I am the voice of Stockton.
Hi, this is Joy Neas with Behind the Art Scene at KXVS, the voice of Stockton. And today my guests are Raksmey Castleman and her husband.
Richard Castleman.
Richard Castleman. Raksmey, so glad to have you guys on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you.
So this is kind of timely. You're planning a big event for the second year, the Lotus Festival. It was so beautiful last year. So can you tell us all about that?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much, Joy, for having us today, and also, your support last year in getting the information out to the community via the Stockton Record has really helped our community be aware of the history behind the Lotus Festival, but also to really get our community to come together to participate. The Peace and Light, so initially we were going to call it the Peace, Love, Light, and Healing Festival, but it really comes down to, the peace and healing. So my family, we're from Cambodia, and back at home, every year we have this huge festival, the Lotus Festival. And, from the Lotus Festival is a way of allowing the community to pause. It's right after Pchom after we celebrate. It's kind of like the Cambodian Halloween, where we honor our ancestors, people who passed. So after the Pchom we, or Cambodian call it Pchom, we get together, and as a way of sending the spirit back to where they need to go, we get bananas, banana trees, banana leaves, and people just create this boat out of banana trees and banana leaves, boats and lotus, because in our culture, and many traditions all around the world, the lotus represents peace, purity, and a rebirth. So, and, I'm from the Buddhist religion. So in our culture, we believe that by creating this lotus, we put food, we put flowers, we sent items, we sent messages, and we light an incense, because the incense is a way of, it's for our world to connect with the spiritual world, to send them off to where they need to go, maybe reincarnation. But also for us, the living, it's a great opportunity for us to have that sense of healing, hope, healing, rejuvenation, that we,
go, right?
Yes, like we don't have to carry all these negative feelings or feelings of hurt and sadness. We can just let things go. Mm-hmm. So we send the lotus out into the water. So that's the tradition behind it. And moving to the United States, so my family came from Cambodia, and as you probably heard last year, 40 years ago, there was a genocide in Cambodia between 1975 and 1979. Out of 7 million Cambodians during that time, more than 2 million lost their lives. And almost every Cambodian that you see here in the United States have lost someone during that war. So when Miss Fugazi, my husband, and my good friend Moni, we were thinking, what can we do for the community? What can we do to provide the community an avenue for healing? How can we come together with, just love to connect and help one another heal? So, after brainstorming, we thought, hey, why not bring in this tradition to the rich community of Stockton? We have such a diverse community. And in fact, Cambodians, Stockton is home to many Cambodians. So it's the third largest in the United States for Cambodian communities. But also to engage the rest of the communities, because, as we know, we've been through some stuff here in Stockton. Yeah. So it's not just for the Cambodian community, but also for all Stocktonians to come together and for one day just let go of our differences and just come together as one people, as one Stocktonians, and let's do some healing and unite and heal together.
Yeah, last year when I saw you guys were going to have the Lotus making, was it your house?
It was our neighbor's house, a good friend of ours.
And I so wanted to go to that. I got to make a Lotus. But so you guys met and you got to make those. Are you going to do that again at
Absolutely.
the house?
Yes. So we're, and the purpose for that, but you got to experience making your own Lotus, right?
So I was so worried I'm not going to get to make one, and then I came to the festival and you guys had all the materials. It was wonderful.
Right, that is one thing. We're short on banana trees.
Oh, yeah.
There's many growing out in Stockton. Anybody with banana trees or resource, let us know.
Yes, but we are planning to do that. It takes time to make the Lotus, but also it's such a great experience. It's so individualized that way. You can put your thoughts and feelings. You can make it as extravagant as you like or as simple as you want. So we're going to have that again the day before. But also, if you can't make it, just like last year, we will also have the materials to make. And for other people who, don't want to get their hands dirty or want to do something else, we're also going to have another options of making a lantern. Or
we might have some for purchase for a nominal fee.
Yes.
And everything would go to a nonprofit, local nonprofit.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that was interesting with the lanterns that you had just some colored paper that you taped together, and then had the little styrofoam bases and put it over it.
Yeah.
That was really
It actually
really
looked
intriguing.
really cool. I wasn't sure. I was a little hesitant at first because I liked the idea of the natural banana tree.
Sure.
But seeing them out on the water and all the different colors, it was really cool.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yes.
It was absolutely stunning. And then you had the some performers before, and there was some food for sale. And
Yes.
Special thanks to David Townsend and the Lotus Light Experiment. He volunteered to play for us all night long. Practiced for 2 weeks, and he brought his friend down, and I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
So hopefully they will come back this year.
And actually, Governor Don, who he's in charge of KXVS, his daughter came and sang.
Yes,
Right.
that's
Beautiful.
right. Absolutely. Najee, beautiful voice. I mean, the whole, the entire sisters, they all have a voice.
I so wish they were still together performing as a group, the Beloved Sisters.
That's right. Yes.
So what is planned for this year? Performers and
Yes. So this year, we're hoping to get McNair Choir. They're phenomenal. Just to give them so they just had their performance last week, and same theme. Their theme was love, peace, and unity. And, you know, this peace and light, you know, we have our theme here for this year. We have, you know, the peace and light, but we want to create a unity within Stockton. So the choir will sing. Khmer Ballet.
They'll be returning.
Will hopefully will return, and they did such a phenomenal job.
That was
The
beautiful.
little girls are just so beautiful. Yes, and the Lotus Light Experiment will be coming as well. And this time, David just emailed me that a couple of his friends, they play, you know, the Native American drums.
So having a drum circle would be
exactly.
really cool.
So
David
right.
who?
David Townsend, right?
Yes, David Townsend.
Townsend.
Yes.
He's the president of Native Directions in Three Rivers Indian Lodge. It's out in Manteca.
Yes, yes. So it really all ties to our nonprofit, Common Circle, and so my husband can share with you a little bit about, you know, why we decided to have this nonprofit.
So I just want to ask, would you need some performers at all?
We would take anybody
Yes.
who would be interested in coming and performing or helping or with any idea that they want to do.
Okay.
We're open.
I think we need David Molina. Just putting a shout out there. For, he does world music. He produces this the Spotlight on the Arts radio show that I'm doing right here. So he goes to many different events, and I think he brings. I'm not sure what the instrument is. It's almost like a xylophone, kind of Cambodian.
Yes.
And I forget the name of it, but he does a really remarkable job. Maybe we can get him out there.
Absolutely, we
Okay,
are
good.
so open.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
I mean, this is for the community, by the community type of event.
Okay.
Right. Well,
really-
the idea is we want everyone to come together,
Sure,
set aside
sure.
your differences,
Right.
while also representing each other's culture and sharing.
Sure.
So we can get to know each other and we know what we're all about, because
There
there's
we
something
go.
beautiful in everybody's culture. Every community has something different to offer in it. That's what makes us great as a country. And
And-
so whatever they want to bring, we'd love to see it, especially
Okay.
unique,
Yeah.
new things, cultural things. World music's great.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to remark about you were mentioning about the holiday about remembering the dead.
Yes.
Right.
And so I've been very involved. Actually, this is the 20th anniversary of the Mexican Heritage Center.
Dia de
Oh,
Muertos.
yes.
And Dia
that's
de
right. Yes.
los Muertos.
Yes.
And you know, I had always been looking for some way to remember my loved ones, and you know, I carried so much pain with loss, and then I found Dia de los Muertos, and the Mexican Heritage Center. And, you know, I'm not Mexican, but they said, oh, sure, we'd love to have you. And so they've allowed me to do a number of altars.
Yes.
And just to learn, to be able to celebrate, you know, a person's life.
Right.
And so it's not just about the loss, but you remember them. And you know, every time when I would prepare an altar, you put like their favorite things on the altar, and you know, memories that you have with them, and you just feel so much love and closeness to them.
Right.
So I think all the different cultures have some form of that. So.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have one, grab onto someone else's. We made an altar last year with my neighbor Anne Marie. She allowed my children to make altars with her.
Yes.
And showed us how to do it and had all these supplies there. So we made one for my grandmother who had recently passed. And it does. You're allowed to get rid of that baggage and still carry around the good stuff, because you're thinking about what did she like? You know, we have to really think about grandma. You know, what would she want on here? What would she want to see? And it's really for us to not just let her go, but to remember her and keep her close to us. And I think it was really great. We'll do that this year.
Yeah, and one thing, you know, a lot of people, my mom and a few people, they were saying, oh, that's like being in a cult or whatever. I went, no, Mom, no. And we do that sometimes, like at a funeral.
Yes.
When you set up a memory table.
Or a slideshow, right?
You know, and so I went to one of my uncle's funerals, and there in the church was a table with all the things he loved, and it was like an altar. And I'm going, that's what I'm talking. That's all I'm talking.
Exactly.
And it got me to feel close to him. Oh, there's the hat he wore. Oh, I didn't know he was. He loved computers and he did gardening. And oh wow, you know, and all the things I learned about him, and I felt that he was there with me.
Right. And you know, the other thing too, you know, for us, we're going through healing in some way, shape, or form, no matter what we go through, you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. This is also an opportunity for us to heal ourselves.
Sure.
You know, I do it often, just to find a time to reflect and see, what can I change? What can I let go? You know, what is it that
hurting me?
Exactly. So we all have some kind of hurt and pain, but we don't have to carry it with us all the time. You know, we need to just let things go sometimes, liberate ourselves from all that pain, all that mess, you know. So this is another avenue, you know, for people to just come and just be yourself in that moment. Yeah. And it's okay. And let go of whatever you need to let go of, you know, and in that process of letting go, find something to fill your heart with, that love, that sense of community connections, that peace, that unity, and that's what we really hope, you know, to do for this.
Right. And I didn't know what to expect last year, but what I liked the most was just the intimate feeling, just looking around at everybody. You had people sitting together and just all over the place on the grass, making lanterns, talking, laughing, having fun, and it was just like a family kind of picnic, really. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was the greatest part of it. Yeah, it was. People felt comfortable and they could just be there and be themselves. And even some people who stepped up and spoke, talked about people that they've lost and things they're experiencing. And it helps other people who are listening to identify. Maybe that'll help encourage them to let go of something. And so hopefully we'll keep that intimate atmosphere and feeling. Yeah. And I think we will.
All right, so you were talking about your nonprofit.
Right. So we are Common Circle. I am the director and founder. My wife is on the board and a few other members as well. And we're really just a local group of individuals who just want us all to come together. So we call it Common Circle because we're involved in many different, I guess, circles through the work and the advocacy and just our friends and our interests. And it seems that all these people in circles are very similar, and many of them are apart and different, and they feel separated. And it should be real easy for them to all just come together because they have so much in common, but they don't know it. So our idea is that by doing different things we do, to bring these different groups of people closer to each other, maybe educated about each other's culture or their lifestyle or whatever they do. And they're going to find common ground and they're going to become friends, basically, and be a better community.
Right. Absolutely.
So what other... have you had other events or activities?
That was our first event. We've had some smaller groups. My wife did a program called Strength and Difference, where she would have a group of young teenage girls, and every week we get together. And it might be hanging out or going to see something or to talk about life, talk about what you're going to do when you grow up, learn about leadership, learn about each other's cultures, just build stronger women leaders, I think was the point of it.
Right. And we're hoping, you know, it's just talking to Drew and his mother right there at the art
Drew
place.
The art lab?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an awesome place.
And we're thinking of, you know, connecting and doing yoga because I'm a big fan of health, you know, the overall whole person care. So, but providing a means for the community to participate, and we try to do everything all free of charge to the communities. You know, we truly believe in empowering our communities, and when communities are empowered, we become better, and you know, we want to create that peaceful place for our children.
Right, especially in the current climate, people feel so separated and divided, and they say they're not, but we all feel it. And I feel in Stockton we are so diverse and different that we're very fortunate because I don't know people who would have those kind of divisive thoughts that are in my close circle. And my kids, they don't look at other people and pass judgments on them. They're just our people. And I think that everybody should remember that. Anything that we can do to bring people together so they realize we're all the same, then it's a good thing. So we are a nonprofit. We are a 501c3, but we are self-funded. We would take donations, but we don't solicit for it, and we don't make a profit. So anything we do, we're really just trying to do something good in our own little part of the world.
Yeah. Yes.
So when I saw that you guys were having another festival, I thought, yes, I'm so happy.
Well, I'm happy to hear that too.
And because I was wondering about that. So, and it's during Stockton Arts Week. So you said you didn't know about Stockton Arts Week?
So thank you for sharing that with me, Joy. Can you elaborate more about that?
All right, I will tell you all about Stockton Arts Week. Last year was the first Stockton Arts Week. So it's actually a 10-day event. So this year it's going to be October 13th through the 22nd. Anyone who's doing some art-related activity, so, the festival, the Lotus Festival is an art-related activity.
All right.
What you do, you Visit Stockton is managing the Stockton Arts Week, and you go to their webpage, and they have a registration, and you get to register your event. So they have kind of a calendar of, here's all of the different arts-related things that are happening during this 10 days. And they promote it. They have posters. They hand out decals. They give you little postcards and whatever to really get people to know, to publicize. So it's a way to promote the arts in Stockton. I'm so happy that they're finally doing this. In Reno, we've been probably going to this at least 10, 15 years, but they have a thing called Art Town, ARTOWN. And during the whole month of July, they have all kind of arts events all over the city. They got up to, I think it was at least 500 different arts events throughout the city during the month.
500?
500.
Oh,
it's just
my goodness.
Mind-blowing. So I think last year for the Arts Week in Stockton, we had, I think it was right around 50 arts events. So I hope that we can keep growing it and growing it. And, the arts, everybody's talking about how much money we need or, the economic development and all. The arts could really bring in a lot of money.
Yes. Yes.
And as far as like cultural tourism, heritage tourism, all the different cultures we have in Stockton, before my mother got married, she traveled to 33 different countries. And she brought back all these souvenirs, all of her stories. And so I was immersed in that. But, I lived in Richmond, and I didn't see a lot of different cultures. I don't know. When I came to Stockton, we have everything. Right. And what's so wonderful is all the different festivals, all the different parades.
Right.
One of my favorites is the Obon Festival. The Japanese at the Japanese Buddhist temple, and every year, and I go to that and seeing their beautiful artwork, the little crafts they make.
Yes.
I just flock to the table. What am I going to buy this year? So it can bring a lot of attention. People can say, oh, we want to go to the Lotus Festival. We're going to stay in Stockton for the weekend and go out to dinner and
downtown Stockton.
Downtown
Exactly.
Stockton.
Yes.
So that's the benefit. When people say, oh, the arts aren't much, but they really do bring us together.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that is what gives us quality of life. Everybody talks about, oh, we want quality. Well, where do you find quality of life?
Right.
With the arts.
Right. Right.
You know.
Freedom to create, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, when people go, like, they go to, just say on the Miracle Mile now, we have 3 different arts galleries. Mile Wine, they, a restaurant, they have a beautiful art exhibit, so you can go. So it's not just enough to go, let's go to a restaurant, okay, fine, I'll eat some food. But, if you have some art on the wall you can look at, they have performers, musical entertainment. That's making
That's
it
fun. That makes me want to go out. We used to we would go to the,
Alders
they would
Market.
have at the Alder Street Market,
Yes,
and they would have like
There we
a
go.
dinner theater, and it's
Yes.
the funnest thing. And we need more things like that to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, okay, you're talking about dinner theater. Have you been to that showbiz?
No.
So I haven't either.
See, I don't know a lot of what's going on, and now I have
So-
a resource to find out.
So I have to go, and actually that's almost right across the street from where Alder Market was. And they do like a dinner theater. They have
There we go.
these,
We'll get a date
these
night.
programs. So if you go on, I really encourage you, if you go on, I think I sent you the link.
Yes.
Visit Stockton, and it says Arts Week. And you can register your event. So then everybody, everyone in the community will look at that and say, oh, we want to go to the Lotus
Right,
Festival.
and they may not have known about it otherwise.
Right. That is so awesome. Yes. So thank you.
Okay.
This is exciting. Like, I'm getting really pumped up right now. But you were asking. So last year. So I just wanted to share what it's going to look like programming wise. So.
And we're still open to anybody else who wants to come talk to us about being involved.
Yes. So far we have Khmer Space, Wounded Warriors through the Sculling Club, has offered to support my group of Reiki ladies and gentlemen. Love them. So they're going to be helping as well. And our neighbors and my, parents and mother-in-law and stuff will be helping. And you can, of course, we in partnership, we want to support each other in everything that we do. So we're going to have the opening ceremony. Love your ideas of releasing the dove, because it is about peace.
Thanks, definitely.
We're going to have performers, McNair, a choir. We're going to have the Lotus Light Experiment, and Mr. Molina,
David Molina.
Yes.
David
Okay.
Molina will be there.
David, we're putting you on the spot right now.
Put it on your calendar there, David.
We'll just have 10 minutes of silence if he doesn't show up.
And anyone, so we're looking for creative, people from the community. If you have a poetry of love, of peace, of unity,
Dance,
of
art,
love,
whatever.
we would love to just have an open mic, for you to share that. We're also going to make a peace flag. Also, so we, kind of like the peace and prayer. So we kind of had that idea when we went to Arizona, and there's this place where it's called
Sedona, right?
Sedona, and there's peace flag made by the community, and it's
So
just
Similar to a prayer flag. You
Okay.
yes,
right?
yes.
So, speaking of that, did you ever see the wish flags?
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh, see, we're learning new things
Every
here.
day.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Please tell us about that.
Okay, Cleveland School remembers.
oh yes.
I wish you would do wish flags again. Anyway, I have the supplies for wish flags.
All right.
And can get the supplies for wish flags. But for, I think it was 3 years, Cleveland School remembers. So a group of women, a lot of them were teachers, when the Cleveland School shooting happened
Yes.
in 1989.
I
Yes.
remember that.
And after Sandy Hook, that shooting, they all came together and they said, enough. We got to stop this. Okay, we've had enough. So they formed a group called Cleveland School Remembers. So they're remembering Cleveland schools. It's not associated with Cleveland School, but it is associated
Yes.
The event, right?
with the event. So they actively have been, lobbying for legislation. They make posters and like have rallies. They stand on the street corner and tell no more shootings and everything, and contact different congressmen and ask for certain legislations.
Right.
But one of our projects, Cleveland School Remembers, then they formed a group called Draw It Out. So it's the art component of Cleveland School Remembers. So they thought that through art, that's how you bring healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I got involved with that. So I think it was in 2014. And our first project was the Wish Flag Project. So it's like the peace, prayer flags and the whole thing.
Peace pole, right.
Yes.
And so we took like pieces of sheet, pieces of fabric, and made a little flag. I think it was about 5 by 7. And one of our members, she made a print block. So it was of a person like with their arms out like this, yelling out the window of a house. So it's like with a little speech bubble. So it's what would you like for your neighborhood to make it a better or safer place? So we went to all these different events. We went to Healthy Kids Day, went to Earth Day, just wherever there was people. And we had a tent, and people made these wish flags. And we have, I think, maybe 1,500 of these.
Wow.
That people have made. And then we've also displayed them at different places. The best display I like, at the last Asparagus Festival they had downtown. So I used to arrange for first night. It's the arts event that they had at New Year's Eve, and so the man who was in charge of that was Nick Elliott, and he then went and he was in charge of the Asparagus Festival. I said, "Okay, Nick, could we display these wish flags?" So he let us go into the Civic Auditorium, and we took the wish flags and we hung it all the way around the balcony, like scalloped all the way around from one side to the other, in a beautiful display of these wish flags. And we were there at the Asparagus Festival.
Wow.
So, these are some of the things, then Cleveland School Remembers Draw It Out. We decided, okay, well, they were going to go on to a new project, and they started the Art Against Violence exhibit. So for 3 years, they've had this exhibit. One year they had it at the Mexican Heritage Center, and then the last 2 years they had it at the fairgrounds. And, for a whole month, people would come there, and, thousands of people could come into that space, and we had that whole building. It was the flower and plant building, right by the entrance.
Yes.
It's kind of a round, circular, and we filled that with art. And so, just making people aware of, we had, school groups. We had actually Luz Lua's high school class from Weber Institute. They have participated for all 3 years.
Great art in their building.
So,
Yes.
and they brought this last one. They brought a painted piano that they did. So people visiting, they could play the piano.
Yes.
So it could be an interactive thing, not just look at the art.
Right.
So it was just amazing. And then we had in association with that, we had several events. We had a poetry open mic kind of event, and then we had a performance event with all different, singers and dancers and kind of an international, like a festival kind of
Sounds
thing,
awesome.
right
That's
there.
incredible.
So-
yes.
Sounds like what we're trying to do.
So
Absolutely.
it's
Yes,
very
yes,
similar, and
yes.
and it makes me think of you guys. So you're going to be doing the flags. So you have the cloth and everything, or what?
We have the cloth. We have a couple. What are those? Paint. You know, the paint that you can put on the cloth, and markers for fabrics.
Right.
But again,
We could use
we can
more
always use
supplies.
more.
It's
Okay.
just
Exactly.
really us
Yes.
doing this.
Okay, so are people just so you're going to have the cloth pre-cut,
Yes.
and
yes.
and people just decorate it however they want?
Yes. Yes. Any
If
message.
it's something peaceful.
Yes,
Right,
if it's
right,
peaceful,
right.
unity, you know,
Okay.
because what we're hoping
Positive.
to
Something
do
good.
Sure.
is
For sure
to
it will
really create, like what you were saying, connect it all together and have
Just drape it everywhere.
exactly, and just
Okay.
drape it, and
okay.
or
Okay.
maybe drape it at the Peace Garden, you know, on Magnolia.
Oh,
We just need to really get that message out there
Get people
more
thinking
and
about
more.
it.
Exactly. I mean, we don't have to be. We live in Stockton. It's a beautiful town. It's a
It is.
with beautiful people. I know, you know, because I'm surrounded by so many beautiful people. But give our city hopes. Give our kids
Exactly.
hope.
Right.
Let's really send out that message: peace, love, hope, and unity all across Stockton.
So,
Yes.
so actually, my dream. I'll just share this. Maybe we can work on this together.
Yes.
To actually have like luminaria, the little lights in the bags and everything, kind of going all the way around from Morelli, all the way up to Center, and then around the waterfront, and coming, say on Center. Down to by the hotel, but just kind of following that waterfront area, and have it all with the lights, and having the wish flags, having the
Yes.
peace flags all
Yes.
draped around, and then we're all like holding hands and have a big festival. And
So that would be fantastic. Let's do it.
Yes.
all right, so we're on our way. Okay.
We are on our way. We are on our way. You know, and I also just want to take this opportunity. You're going to hear more about them, you know, for the Cambodian exhibit. So, you know, this is huge for our community. And you've mentioned the Cleveland school shooting. You know, a lot of Southeast Asian kids were involved in that as well.
Right.
But, you know, the exhibit is another form of, you know, way for the community to get to know the Cambodian community, what we're like, the past, our present, and where we want to go in the future. We don't want to be defined by the atrocities.
Right.
We want to define ourselves by our resilience. And, you know, the word resilience come to me in such a meaningful, deep, personal way, because not just because I'm Cambodian and our family went through the genocide, but also for Stockton. Look what we've been through.
I'll just mention, I don't know if you guys know, after the Cleveland school shooting, one of the teachers, she wanted to make sure, you know, there was something positive.
Yes.
And that's how the Children's Museum of Stockton
I know the plaque out front
was
always
started.
reminds me of
That's right.
what happened.
So she put that together.
That makes
So-
me so emotional, you know?
You know.
And goosebumps just.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's something, you know, beautiful that came out of it. And
Yes.
and that we're all together, that I was able to meet these women from Cleveland School. And, I
Yes.
mean, we've shared some lovely memories and whatever, some our hope for better times. And you know, there's so much that can come out of tragedy.
Right.
You know, it made these people, you know, it makes all of us, you know, so much more determined, you know, to be positive, to give something back, to,
Right.
you know, see the healing, to bring us together, you know. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perhaps some of those ladies can come out.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
That would
maybe say a few words.
So I can invite them.
Absolutely, yes. And, I also work with mental health, and I just wanted to really throw it out there. We tend to segregate, we tend to divide people who are different than us. But I'll tell you, if we just look at each other as human first, not by race, not by color, not by politics, political differences, we will see our true self in that form. And in mental health, what taught me about mental health is do not put labels, but also see the person for who they are. So, and I'm hoping that we can really bring this message. And this is just a start, the beginning of some kind of journey, and I really hope that we can all continue to work together to move our city forward, bring that strength. We all have strength if we look deep down and have this people who support us in really pushing that strength forward. I truly believe in that. We need to do more empowering and not more stomping on one another.
Yeah, I mean, all the different people that I've met here, the Mexican Heritage Center, and I've worked a lot with the Filipino community, with FONS, Filipino American National Historical Society, Little Manila. These people, they've really become my family.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know where I'd be without them. So, but I have room for everyone.
Yes.
One thing I saw that you wanted to do was have the Stockton Rocks.
Yes. So, I've been so fascinated. I don't know who started Stockton Rocks, but I thought it was such a beautiful, wonderful, creative, inclusive ideas. And I looked at, the different rocks and the arts on those rocks. Oh my gosh, they are amazing.
They are.
So Stockton Rocks, if you can hear me, I know.
Stockton Rocks.
Thank you. But, we want to really get the message out again, sending the message out. And I think people are already doing this already. But for that week, if we can all create rocks that send out message of peace, love, unity, healing, recovery, celebration of life, please do so. And I love to just go around and find those, rocks.
I still haven't found one.
I know, I still haven't found one. I'm looking everywhere. So
goodness.
Yeah. And I love for them to all come out. And I don't know who organizes it, but if you have rocks, if we want to set a booth for that, please do. It's such an amazing idea. So kudos to Stockton Rocks.
I'm full of ideas. Maybe you guys would like to come out. I arranged for the Art Splash. So it's the downtown art walk.
Yes.
So now this is our sixth year of having it. But our last event for the year is on the first day of Stockton Arts Week. So it's October 13th. So Friday the 13th.
Friday the
13th.
So maybe what I was thinking, we could get some rocks in the paints and everything. Set up a table if you guys would like to be there, and people could paint little rocks and so you could be at the Art Splash saying go paint rocks.
Go paint rocks, yes.
Yeah. And hide the rocks.
That's right. Where people can find them. Yeah. But so I'm just, I don't know about you, but right now, just listening to what you're sharing, there are so many people out there doing wonderful things for the city, and almost the same vision, bringing our people together and making our city safe, peaceful, celebrating the differences, the uniqueness, the beautiful, intricate cultures that we all have. And I just love it. It's such a joy to really see all these things happening in our town.
So I love what you guys are doing with the Common Circle. since I moved here, so I've lived here 24 years, but there are so many wonderful people doing everything, but it does seem like everyone's kind of doing it separately.
Yes, yes.
So we just need to be a little more unified in what we're doing there. So that's why I like Stockton Arts Week. When I saw it last year, it made me say, oh, they're fun, they're doing this, and who can I collaborate with? Mm-hmm. So I went in and I started, every day of Stockton Arts Week, I did something. And, some of the times were collaborations with other artists. So,
absolutely.
So it makes you be more creative and,
yes.
more inspired, more hopeful.
Yes.
Something you might not have come up with before.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
right.
I wanted to ask you about, we just have a few more minutes. Mm-hmm. There are some really amazing thoughts going on in Stockton lately. One was called the Bread Fundraiser, and we just had that. And I don't know if they've done that in other cities or how they got the idea for it, but they had a fundraiser, a dinner, and everybody bought a ticket, and then they took all that money and funded an arts project. And the winning project is the Cambodian project. So
yes.
Can you talk more about that?
Yes. So the purpose behind the Cambodian project is it started with Joaquin, and they're all great friends of mine. So a couple years ago, it's just a couple of us just thought, wow, what can we do for our community? And it's, many of us are 1.5 generation and second generation Cambodian, members, part of the community. We went to the Cambodian Remembrance Day over at the state capitol, and it was so moving. My parents went, and it took a long time for my mom, to even talk about to share with the family about the genocide, to have our city recognize, the April 12th to April 17th as the Cambodian Genocide Remembrance Week was so incredible. So the idea stemmed from that. So as we were sitting around the table, a couple of the ladies, Savong, Sophie, Sinab, Bruce, Moni, Judy, and Roxanne thought, we need to do something more. And it also stems from the Hmong exhibit that took place a couple years back. Sinat went in and she said, look guys, I saw this exhibit. It was incredible. It was so moving. It was so educational.
Where was that?
I believe it was out in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So, and it was a mobile exhibit. So, and CNAP shared that ideas, and so everyone just thought, we need to do something for, let's have a Cambodian project. Let's trace back from how it was, our history, the Angkor area, all the way, to the genocide, the refugee camp. What does it look like to live through the genocide? What does it look like to live through the refugee camp? What does it look like for a family to immigrate to the United States? And mainly is to share with the community, to inform the community of who we are as Cambodians. We are Cambodian Americans, and we have a rich culture, but also recognize that within that rich culture, there is trauma from the war. So we're hoping, but also there's beautiful art. So we're trying to preserve our heritage. We're trying to preserve our culture, our tradition. I'm a 1.5 generation myself, meaning I was born in a refugee camp and then immigrated to the United States. But without these things, we forget. And our roots, it's kind of like a tree. If we forget our roots, then we're not going to be able to grow to our full potential. So we want to leave this for our future generation to know about the history, to not forget, but also to the community, mental health providers, healthcare workers, school teachers, to recognize that when you're working with the Cambodian community, keep in mind that when a child is in need of help, maybe talk to them a little bit more, get to know them, because maybe the parents or the grandparents have gone through something and they haven't healed yet through that process. So you will see, the historical part of it, the arts, the music, and we're also going to have a support circle, for people who want to talk more and to learn more about the Cambodian culture. And, it was just an idea, and I can't believe that we're going to have it in December. So please check out Facebook, UCAN, United Cambodian American Network. They're going to have more information about it. We're already sharing it on Facebook. It's going to be great, and we're hoping to get the support. This is a great way of bringing your kids and to see the beautiful stuff, but also learn about the culture. And hopefully one day we'll have a Cambodian exhibit somewhere, for people to come and visit.
So the exhibit right now, I think it's a week long.
Yes.
And it's going to be at the Office of Education, San Joaquin.
Yes. So if you visit Facebook, United Cambodian American Network, you'll see all that information in there, the mission, the purpose behind the exhibit.
So where are they getting? Are they getting items from people in Stockton, or?
Oh my God! This again, kudos to the group. They've sent out information. I mean, just family members and friends, anyone with anything that, and unfortunately, a lot of people who escaped the genocide,
they didn't have much.
They didn't have much. So whatever they have, so these are sometimes valuable personal items that they are willing to share for the exhibit. Also, a couple of the UCAN members went to Cambodia with their own, expenses to gather some of these artwork and items back. Yes. So they put a lot of effort into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been over to Apsara?
Yes.
And did you see the mural that they?
Yes. Yes.
That was a project by Damon Gress.
Oh.
And he worked with high school students from Jane Fredericks High School, and then he also came over to Apsara, and some of the children participated to make that mural. And it was like a 4-panel mural showing, how the Cambodians came over to the United States, and then they, have made this their home.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And I'm glad that we have, a community like Apsara where people can still feel connected. I don't know if you know about the Cambodian community here in Stockton, California, but people live in apartment complexes, and we call them villages. And the reason for that is, many of the first generation don't speak English. They don't drive, so they really depend on each other, really try to maximize their resources to make it work in this new land that they call home. This is our home.
Right.
Many of us can't ever go back to Cambodia, but we take pride of Stockton, and we love Stockton because it's our home now.
So do you know Sophon Sorn? Have you heard of him? Or?
Yes, I've heard of him.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, in fact, his father, his parents invited us to Seventh-day Adventist first, and so I went to Seventh-day Adventist with Serpan when we first came to the United States. But incredible work. I mean, he's so talented. Their families and my families are very close to. I call them Yeah, so they came to our wedding. Sapat, his father, love him. So we're such a close-knit community, and I'm grateful for that, because we're able to provide each other support. And whenever we see someone doing something well, I mean, it's so, it really touched my heart, because we work so hard, to get to where we are, and our parents work so hard to provide us with what they have, their love, to push us forward.
Yeah, so fun. He's done such amazing things with the film festival,
Absolutely.
the San Joaquin International Film Festival, and And I hope that returns to Stockton again. So fun.
Yes, please.
The river film was great.
Yes.
Right.
So, in closing, why don't you just say the dates and times, the place of the Lotus Festival?
Yes, absolutely. So please join us if you're listening to our Peace and Healing Festival. It's going to be on Saturday, October 21st, part of the Stockton Arts Week, from 4 to 7 p.m. It's a free event, so please bring your family, bring a blanket. For more information, we will have more information on Facebook, and it's going to be under Peace and Healing Lotus Festival.
And we will be making lanterns the day before. I'm not sure where yet.
Yes.
So it's right at Morelli Park.
Yes, Morelli Park.
It's right there by the waterfront. And so you'll have the festival, and then we can walk across the bridge and take our little lanterns and go float them.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to mention about that mural. If someone hasn't seen it, there will be a screening of the First They Killed My Father, and I believe that's Friday.
Oh, huh.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The
Yes.
location was obscure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the film.
Yes, the film. So check it out on Netflix if you don't want to actually go to the screening. It's on Netflix. But absolutely, and I really can't wait. And I want to give a huge shout out right now to Miss Fugazi, Christina Fugazi. She has been here to support this event from day one. She, last year.
Couldn't have done it without her.
Yeah, couldn't have done it without her. And Kathleen, last minute clean up, put things together.
Security.
Security.
Right.
Yes, and security. And, our good friend Moni, who just his passion and his vision that he has, along with our passion to make this happen. But Miss Fugazi and her support, I'm one of her students, so from high school. So as soon as I said peace, she was like, oh my gosh, let's do it.
There we go.
She's like, whatever I need to do. So, and absolutely with your love and support in this event, you just like, what is this all about? And you're right there. You're just your passion and your commitment to not just for our event, but to make Stockton better. Has we're going to be family now.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank Raksmey and her husband Richard for coming and being my guests.
Thank you, Joy.
You're welcome. And I'll see you next week on Behind the Art Scene on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.